do you kind of look for the signals to say that this does not feel right and you got to go a little more deeper and kind of recalibrate and co-create something that might be a better option?
Well, yes. I mean, very rarely will transformations go through, especially an initial phase of success, because you are getting this alignment in place. You have an organization that's comprised of many, many different facets, and everyone has a different vantage point. So the structure that we spoke about is correct, but the structure and the motivation and the what, the when, the why, and all of this stuff isn't necessarily going to give you the results that you want. And it's entirely possible that the answer you've come up with is not fitting within the natural rhythm of the organization, and everyone's on board and everyone's ready to go. So the transformation, which is a response to the first question, as you asked, does not feel right. And why can that be if everything's set up in the way that we had assumed, right? That we had planned for? Well, it's probably because it lacks some context, important context. It's some externality that has not featured, some behavior that has not been considered. Of course, there are variations, but business transformations are usually instigated to address growth, performance, risk, or any weighted combination of the three. So if the cost rationalization answer set out in question 2 that we talked about doesn't feel right, it's because it's probably blind to other opportunities. In other words, you're perhaps over-investing in performance and you're not focused on growth enough, because at the vantage point of the CEO, they're perhaps interested in the growth of the organization. But I'm so focused on cost rationalization that I'm cutting off my legs to my ability to grow, because I'm cutting in a sense that I'm not seeing the big picture. So this is not also the other dimension we spoke about. So we spoke about value, operations, growth, and risk. What if it's not accounting for risks? So our focus is very much on increasing performance in the current state. But I've got disrupted supply chains, legacy assets, aging workforce, and any number of other factors that are pulling my throughput or my production down. What if I don't build resilience into my organization? Then I'm running, simply trying to catch up. So I'm not increasing my performance, I'm just mitigating the downside of not building that resilience in. What is bad cost? There's no determination of what is waste versus good cost that can build that resilience into the organization and even help it grow. So if you're going to direct significant investment into a decision or an initiative to cut costs without considering whether there is potential for good costs to effectively be deployed into a reconfigured operating model to explore synergies at portfolio level, then you're kind of missing the opportunity to do more with less, which is the whole point of this.